I'm Jackie Caldwell. I work for the Taku River Tlingit First Nation as their mining officer. The water sampling program that we're doing right now takes water samples from several creeks around Surprise Lake, and they collect water from creeks that both have active mining on them, that have no mining on them, have historic mining on them, and it's to take a look and see how much turbidity and how much effect, so turbidity being the amount of dirt, how much effect that the mining has on the water.
2.10.
The analysis of the water will help the BC Ministry of Environment determine how they're going to change one of their regulations. It's a wastewater discharge regulation, and quite a few creeks in this area have been exempt from that regulation. Currently, the mining operators are still following their normal practices. So that includes discharging mine-affected water into a sediment pond. The sediment pond allows the water it slows the flow of the water down, which allows the sediment or the dirt to fall out of the water. And then the water then goes into the creek, being a lot cleaner. Most placer mine operations are not allowed to discharge directly into the creek. Their sediment ponds have to essentially filtrate into the ground. Now, the exemption allows for that discharge of water into the creeks, and the plan is to take that exemption away from the regulation. The whole reason behind the water sampling program and the change in the regulation is that the majority of BC, there's a few streams that are exempt from this, but the majority of BC, that water, those creeks are protected. They regulate how much discharge goes into the creek, and they regulate how much possible impact is on those creeks. And that's simply what we're trying to do here too. We want to make sure that the water quality is maintained in these creeks. Some of the other things that I work on is partnering between partnerships and collaboration with the BC Ministry of Mines, the Atlan Placer Mining Association, and the operators that work in and around Atlan. So we're working on lots of different things. The water sampling was one of them. We're looking at different ways that we can do reclamation on mine sites, and looking at possible plant species and how to plant those and which species are the right ones to plant. And we're just looking at different ways that operators can improve their sites so that they are a little bit more environmentally aware and aware of cultural aspects for the TRT as well. So another project that I'm working on behalf of TRT is a Mercury Study. For that study, we sampled water, we sampled sediment within creeks, as well as within Surprise Lake. And Como Lake was our test, or our background. It should show no mercury. The potential for mercury to be there would have come from historic mining when they used mercury to help them extract the gold out of the dirt. So we wanted to test to see if some of that mercury made its way into the environment and could then be affecting the wildlife or the aquatic habitat. We also did fish tissue samples. So out of the tissue of the fish, what people would be eating, we tested that for mercury. Most of the samples that have come back have shown normal levels of mercury. There's lots of reasons why the mercury may not be showing up, but we'll wait for the consultant's report to give us some answers around that. The thing that I like most about my job is finding that way to make the connection between the placer miners and the work that they're doing and the environmental and cultural concerns that the TRT have, and finding a way to bridge that possible gap and to improve relationships and communication between the parties.